You know, when you're looking forward to meeting with someone and you guys get to the spot, you give each other a hug, you both smell phenomenal, you order your drinks, and you are ready to have a bomb conversation. That's how I feel every single time I get on this mic and I talk to y'all. Every week, I feel this way. Welcome to the Save the Good Girl podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Erica E. And for those who don't know me, welcome to your first luxury listening experience. I want you to be in VIP because that's what we do over here. So you're going to go to SaveTheGoodGirl.com, enter your email address, and you're going to get beautifully crafted newsletters exclusively written by me. And I want you to know I'm a bit visual. So in addition to the audio, I do provide visuals as well. Please ensure to follow Save the Good Girl on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and on Pinterest so you can see what's going on. I post really great inspiring videos, inspiring quotes, inspiring everything, soft life, just chill, calm energy, candles, all of that when you guys go on social media. So here's the thing. Right now, you are listening to SOE. What is SOE? What is SOE? What is Shot of Erica? So Shot of Erica, y'all, is just like your shot of green juice, tequila, or espresso. It gets you exactly where you need to be in a short period of time. I do the same thing, but for your mind. This episode and all the SOE episodes are no more than 20 minutes. So it's perfect when you're on your quick break, you're in between projects, you're relaxing, you're chilling. You just want something short and easy. I got you. Because I want to make sure that I'm keeping your attention. And speaking of attention, it leads me to this episode. So y'all, here's what happened. I was invited to go to the Poconos. So for those of you who don't know, I live in New York and the Poconos is in Pennsylvania, which is about 2.5 hours away. And my friend asked me, hey, do you want to go to the Poconos with her and her family? And I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't mind because I actually had everything set up for the podcast. I had everything set up for my social media. I had all the things I had to do, I already did it. So it left room for me to say yes without hesitation. So when I decided to go, I'm like, yo, that was real New York, right? Yo, I was like, I did not, and I have not journaled in quite some time. So with everything and just being creative and having all these ideas and meeting up with people and really gathering quality time and spending time with friends, spending time with family, I felt like I wasn't really spending enough time with myself. And I really wanted to reconnect. So check-in wasn't until 4:00. And I decided to be intentional to get there early so that I can go to a coffee shop and write again, just kind of like reset my whole mindset. So I decided to leave, like, when I tell y'all early, I left really early. Like I got there around like maybe 12:30 and I'm like, I want to go to a coffee shop and I wanted to look nice. So I had like a whole outfit, looked really nice. And I was so hyped because when I got to the coffee shop, I actually ended up going to Starbucks because this Starbucks looked really beautiful. A lot of like great lighting. I was like, oh, okay. So when I walked in, the barista noticed my body shimmer. So I don't know if you guys know, I love body shimmer. So when she said, I love your body shimmer, it was like the biggest compliment to me in the world. The brew was really great. The coffee was great. My coffee of choice at Starbucks is the vanilla sweet cream cold brew. So I had that and I took out all of my notebooks. And the notebooks that I had was my regular journal that I have not opened yet. It was a brand new journal, my manifestation journal, my gratitude journal, and I have a words to live by book. The reason why I wanted to do this was because I felt like I was not giving every area of my life attention. Have you ever felt like that? Like you are doing things and you are getting things done, but not every area is getting the attention that, you know, it really deserves. And I just felt like I'm doing a lot, but for some reason I feel like I'm doing a lot, but I'm not doing anything. And I think it's because spiritually and mentally, I just wasn't giving that enough attention. Like I wasn't praying as much. I'm not writing as much because the creative side has been taken over, which I'm not mad at because it allows me to really keep consistency and keep going. And I have so many things that I want to do for the brand and to grow the brand. And I'm working on Exquisitely Erica. And if you guys don't know what that is my new lifestyle page that I currently have on Instagram. So you guys can check that out. I talk about like perfume and body butters and restaurants and, products and whatever I think is exquisite. I'm talking about it on there. So you guys can check it out. So I am having all these ideas, which is great, but I felt like I needed a reset. And I don't think we need to wait for a new year to feel brand new. I think you can feel brand new in 2 minutes if you want. You can feel brand new within the hour. You could feel brand new tomorrow, whatever you decide. But I just felt like I needed a pause and I needed a reset, and I wanted to be intentional with bringing my books. And what I'm learning consistently is that intentionality really is the secret. Intentionality and strategy really helps a lot. I think that we are doing a lot. We have a lot on our minds and we want a lot out of life, but what's lacking is the intentionality of what we are actually seeking. And we say we want this, we say we want that, but like, what are we really doing to get there? So I feel like creatively, yes, my business and what I'm doing, I have it on lock, but I'm not praying every day. I'm not writing all the time. I'm not acknowledging certain things. I'm trying to avoid certain conversations. And it's like, that's not going to help me get where I need to be at all, So while I was driving to the Poconos, to the Starbucks, just the ride there alone, y'all, the weather was just great. It was really nice. It was crisp air. It was smooth. I was listening to some really great music. I was just kind of thinking about what I want and what I want to do. And I felt good. So by the time I actually got to Starbucks, the barista complimented me on my body shimmer. I sat down and I took out all my books and I'm like, where should I start first? And I started with gratitude. So I love writing in my gratitude journal because it really brings down my blood pressure. I think whenever I feel really tense or really heightened, just thinking about what I'm grateful for really helps. So if you have a gratitude journal, or you can create one, or you can just write down what you're grateful for, it helps. When you think about all the things that we have and the abilities that we have and the blessings that you have individually, it helps out a lot. So for me, for that day, I wrote that I was really grateful for driving. I was grateful for my health. I was grateful for the weather. I was grateful to be able to see and to feel and to smell because I put on some really good perfume that day. I was like, you know what, God, thank you so much for my senses because I love it. I love it. I'm so grateful for it. And I just sat there and I'm in the coffee shop. I'm listening to Cleo Soul. She recently came out with an album that I love all her albums. Any Cleo Soul song, I'm going to love it. She's a neo soul artist and she's just a healing artist. Like, I feel like if you're in that space, because sometimes you want to hear something like a little bit more lit. You want to hear something a little bit with more beats. She's very slow, very therapeutic, very healing. And I'm like, that's the perfect thing to listen to while I'm in the Starbucks, So I put her on and I'm just writing down the things that I'm grateful for. When I thought I was done, I just continued to write. Like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. And I just continued to keep going. And after I was done writing in my gratitude journal, I just kind of paused to reflect, to really think about, you are doing well, you are doing good. Like, don't hold on to what isn't happening. And that's what I've been doing lately. To be transparent, I have been holding on to what I don't have and what I didn't do, and just this race against time and overthinking. And when that happens, it bridges to anxiety. And I'm like, ugh. So writing in the gratitude journal really helps me out a lot. My manifestation journal was really great because there's a lot of affirmations on there, and it's just really talking about the trajectory of where you are and where you would like to be. And that was helpful to say these affirmations. And I do have affirmations. If you guys haven't listened to them, you can scroll back a couple of episodes and you can listen to the affirmations that I do have. It is helpful. I just feel like it also helps me slow down. And there's a lot of great thought-provoking questions in my manifestation journal. It is a guided journal, so that was really great as well. And then I had my Words to Live By book. So this book, y'all, I found this book in Marshall's. And for those who don't know, Marshall's is a discount store in America. I don't know if they have it overseas, to be honest with you. Maybe they do. Because I know some of y'all are listening overseas. Hi. So there's this book called Words to Live By. And it's just every page has a different word. And then it basically asks you to think about this word and focus on that word for the entire week. And it asks you a question. So the word that I got was impact. So the way that I utilize this book is I close my eyes and I flip through the pages and I said, God, anywhere you want me to go, whatever word you want me to focus on, let me land on that word. So that week, the word was impact. And it was asking, think about your life and where have you been impactful? What have you done that you feel is impactful? And I thought about that and I'm like, it's so hard for us to acknowledge what we have done. For some reason, answering that question was not as easy as I thought because I'm at a place where I do celebrate myself, but because I'm always thinking about what's next, I'm just like, how have I been impactful? Like I'm going back and forth thinking about what I've done. And I love that question though. I loved it because it really allowed me to pause and think about where have I been impactful? What have I done? And I was thinking about a lot of things. So it took me some time, but I thought about a lot of things, whether it's a podcast, whether it's what I've done professionally, whether it's, really encouraging my friends to go to therapy, whether it's meeting a stranger and encouraging them, whatever it is, whether it's introducing somebody to a new fragrance or a skincare routine that's actually working. I just thought about all of those things. And I'm like, oh, I am impactful. Like, oh, and I challenge you to think about that too. Like, think about how you have been impactful. Like, really think about that question. Think about how you have been impactful. So I'm writing about that as well. And then I get to my journal. So I have a new journal. And the reason why I have not written in the journal for so long is because there has been so much that has been going on. And I didn't want to start the journal with nothing more than what I want to fill the journal up with. And that was an intentional thing. So the first few pages, I wanted my journal entry to be about what do I want to fill in this particular book? What is it exactly that I want to say in this book moving forward? So I spent my time talking about that. Like, I want to talk about me advancing my business, me being healthier, me, setting boundaries and not feeling bad about it. Me like just writing all the things that I would like to do as I'm entering this new phase in my life within my journal. So crazy, right? I said my life. I mean, technically it is. And I just felt like when I did that, it gave the spiritual side, the mental side, and the emotional side the attention that it's been looking for. And that's why I call this episode Attention Seeker, because I wasn't doing that. I wasn't giving every area, every bucket of my life attention. And if you think about it for yourself, can you honestly say that you are giving every area of your life attention? And if you are, I commend you 100%. I really do. Whether it's dating, your health, professionally, your quality time with your people, aka relationships, romantic relationships, spiritually. Like, are you filling every bucket up with attention? And I've realized that I wasn't doing that. And that's why I felt off. So even though I'm doing so many things, I'm recording, I'm doing the podcast, and I'm thinking about ideas and my creative juices are high, I still felt a little off. And I needed that reset. And I've realized that reset is not just on Sundays. It's not just on Mondays. It's not just on a new month. It's not in a new year. A reset can happen on a Thursday at 5:22 p.m. And I just feel like whenever you need to have that reset, you need to just take that. And a big factor is the people that surround you. So I recently did an episode called Don't Take That Call. And if you guys haven't listened to that episode, please ensure that you do. It's a really great episode, just talking about boundaries and just talking about how sometimes when you do take the call from someone who's just really heavy or negative or complaining or draining, it can really affect your mood. And there would be times, right? Like I would take that call and I knew, oh my God, I knew not to answer the phone. I knew it, but I did it anyway. And immediately, as soon as I answered the phone, I regretted it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't. Because I think when you're trying to come to a place of, just focusing your life in a different direction. Maybe you're just not interested in hearing the same thing over and over and over again. Maybe you're just, it's just energetically, it's too much. It's draining. It's too much. So all of that plays a factor into how intentional I am. I don't think we spend enough time really discussing how challenging it is to communicate with someone and really care about them and want them to do well, but they're in this deep loophole and they're not really listening and they just want to vent all the time. So it becomes a lot on you. And I find peace for me as I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I like listening to my music and packing and thinking about what I need to do. And I like talking about refreshing conversations. I'm not saying we can't vent. I'm not saying we can't have a moment. I'm not saying we can't have a season. I'm not saying that. But you guys know what I'm talking about when people are just like a little draining. And when you're trying to reset yourself, you have to declutter your mind. You have to declutter your space, your mental space, and allow yourself to have the freedom to move around as you see fit. And you have to go in every area and figure out what needs to be rectified. And that's exactly how I feel, because there were moments where it was just very difficult for me to write. It was difficult for me to focus. And I had to think about what is really taking up real estate in my mind. What is bothering me? You know, when you have a lot of things that are bothering you all at once, or you have a lot of concerns all at once, and it's just kind of hard to pinpoint. I felt like I needed to stop. I needed to sit. I needed to think. I had to really identify, like, what's really going on in my mind? What do I need to focus on? What needs my attention right now? And I thought about it and I'm like, I'm not giving every area of my life attention, and it's time for me to do so. And I don't have to wait for any particular time to do that. Intentionality really helps me. Sitting down really helps me. I need to have a schedule for myself when it comes to journaling, because when I journal many different ways. I could journal one time and it'll be like for 5 hours. I could journal, in increments throughout the week. I can do bullet point journaling. Like, it depends on my mood and what I plan on doing. But I just needed to be still, y'all. I needed to be still, because we want to live a life of luxury. We want to live a quality life. And sometimes we are killing it in one area. Like, let's say professionally, you are doing the thing. You are phenomenal. You are great. But then romantically, you're not, or spiritually, you're not, or physically, you are not. And then it causes you to still have this uneasiness because there's no balance. There's no balance within yourself. Life is always going to throw us curveballs. We're always going to go through different scenarios that requires us to think fast and move quickly. And there'll be spontaneity, and there'll be just things that we just have to figure out as we go. However, when you have intentionality of where you want your life to go, it allows you to move different, think different, act different, and your decisions are a little bit more clear and tighter for yourself, and also how you deal with other people. So let's focus on that. I really thought about it and I'm like, yeah, we need to give every area of our life attention. And I want you to think about that. What areas of your life requires a bit more love, a bit more quality time? And what do you think you can do to start? I think just to start is just think about it. Write it down in maybe little bullet points, not even a journal, just a little you know what, I want to work on blank, blank, and blank. And then figure out how to kind of spread it out maybe throughout the week so you're not as overwhelmed. So as I'm thinking about the areas I want to give my life attention to, I'm really okay, because I like to do things and go hard and just do everything all at once. And it's like, Erica, that's not how you do it. So I'm trying to think about things one step at a time, but having that time away in the Poconos, being in nature, riding through the trees, listening to Cleo's soul, having my journals out, breathing, and respecting my boundaries really, really helped me to identify what I need to do next and what I should be doing next and what's important for me to focus on, because time is moving, but I want to move with it, not feel like, oh my God, you know? So, y'all, as always, I want to hear your thoughts about how you feel about this episode. Please leave me any type of comments. Your feedback is so important to me. And I want you to think about what areas need attention, what area is seeking for you to pay attention to them. Let me know. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.